ABS-CBN Sports proudly presents the Adamson Lady Falcons,
Pounded off that double.
the Ateneo Lady Eagles,
They use that a lot.
the De La Salle Lady Spikers, the FEU Lady Camaros, the UP Lady Maroons,
6-5 is the score. Labang yung
the UP Lady Warriors,
Nebrida with an offside.
the UST Tigresses, the NU Lady Bulldogs. This is the UAAP Season 75 Women's Volleyball Tournament.
We are back with you for more of the exclusive and live coverage of the UAAP Women's Volleyball Tournament Season 75 here at the arena in San Juan, otherwise known as Volleyball Central, where earlier today, National University beat the University of the Philippines in straight sets, which brings us to the two teams who have streaks coming into this game, although in opposite directions. The FEU Lady Tamaraos on a 3-game winning streak, going up against the Adamson, or make that the Ateneo de Manila University Lady Eagles, on a 2-game losing skid after being previously #1 in the tournament. Interesting match here in the second game of our Wednesday doubleheader. It is live, it is exclusive here on Studio 23. Thank you very much for watching. Alongside Doringo, I am Boom Gonzalez. Very important second round match for both teams here in the office.
And you're right. You know, I like what you said, Boom, when you said the streaks, but in opposite directions.
Yeah.
That is very true, and that's what we want to explain a bit later.
All right. Now, let's get a look at our team standing so you know what we mean when we say the game is crucial for both teams, especially after that National University win earlier, Noreen.
Well, you look at the standings, it's really, really, really tight there in the middle. You can
Yep.
see La Salle ahead 7-1. Ateneo, they started actually without a loss until they played La Salle. And then they lost again. But you look at Adamson, UST, NU, and even FEU, everything's very tight. So it's really a battle for the Final Four.
That's right. And as we know, there will be a Final Four because nobody is undefeated now in the tournament. Now, let's focus our attention on this matchup, Ateneo versus FEU. This is the second round already. We talked, I think Mosey was the one who mentioned it earlier, in the second round teams really start to level up. The first encounter of these two teams was really interesting. Now, Ateneo, Noreen, has been involved in five-setters so far this tournament, the most of any team. The record is not that impressive at 3-2. This was the first one where they won the first 2 sets and then just played around in the third and fourth set while FEU was gaining their bearings, forced into a 5th set. Ateneo pulled off that one, but it was a tough one.
Well, I'd like to mention that during that match, FEU was in a different level.
Very different.
They were contenders, and then they weren't expecting FEU to lose a couple of games after that, but good for the squad that they did bounce back. But you can see in that game, they lost in 5 sets. Or Ateneo won in 5 sets. You can see the numbers spikes 54 for Ateneo. But you know that game, if you look at the numbers, it doesn't really translate to the game because at the end, it's just Ateneo had too much experience against this FEU squad that they pulled it off.
That's right. They only actually had 2 players in double figures in that game, Eliza Valdez and Phil Cainglet. Eliza had 26, Phil had 12 in that game, and I definitely agree with you in your point about FEU at that time. There was a lot of talk about them and a lot of anticipation and expectation going into the season, and then they went into a little bit of a tailspin, and then the coaching changed, and now they seem to be in a better place than they were a couple of weeks ago. How much better? Well, a 3-game winning streak is probably the best way to describe it. They won against UE, they won a big one against UST, and then they won against UE again.
Yeah, we were talking about it before we came on air.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they played against UE. 2 of those part of the streaks against UE, but you can't take that away because they beat UST.
Correct.
So with that win over UST, that's already a different story. And you know this FU squad is going up. I mean, they're nowhere else to go but up, and that's the way they're going right now.
That's right. A 3-game winning streak is a 3-game winning streak, no matter who you went up against. And the important thing about that, as you look at the numbers, is syempre, you're going up in confidence also. Not only your team standings, but you're facing Ateneo now, who's going into a 2-game losing streak. So your confidence is really high if you're FPU, as we see them overwhelming UE in that last game, Noreen.
Well, you're right. Confidence. Your confidence is as good as your last game, and so far with the streak, you know where they are right now in a happy place. They really outplayed UE. 43 spikes as compared to 26. They lorded it over in terms of defense as well. 6 blocks as compared to 2. So overall, FU just outclassed UE.
And they're also finding weapons other than Rosemary Vargas. The last time out, it was Tony Basas who showed up with actually her personal best in terms of her career here in the UAAP. And that's always a good thing for Coach Kidd, who's finding new heroes in this team.
You're right, you know, that's what's nice. Everybody's actually comparing Basas to Kai Nepomuceno.
Okay.
Their brand of play is pretty similar, but of course, given more experience, Nepomuceno actually more powerful. But, you know, in a year's time, can you imagine how much power this girl can generate? And if she becomes consistent, and that's good news for FPU. And in that last match, you can see she's moving up. She scored 17 points and 12 attacks. So, you know, that's a good sign, very good sign for FU. If not in this conference, in this season, maybe next season, that's a good sign for Coach Kidd because you know that he has players going to be of age in the coming games.
But it doesn't hurt to start as soon as now for her, right?
Of course.
Tony Basas, who sat down with the very hard-working Judy Sarrell, who continues to do this game. And let's listen to that interview.
Tony, so far so good para sa Lady Tamaraos. Ano ba yung feeling na sunod-sunod na yung panalo natin?
Syempre masaya po kasi binawi na po namin yung pagkatalo namin nung first round po.
Ngayon naman nakakalabanan na naman natin ang Ateneo. Ano ba yung mga preparations na ginawa nyo?
Yung preparations po namin, tibay lang po sa block, tsaka yung defense po namin. Tsaka kailangan focus lang po kami sa game.
Okay, thank you Tony and good luck mamaya.
Their floor defense is going to come into play here against an Ateneo team with the best scorer and best attacker in the league. Of course, we're talking about Elisa Valdez, who has been carrying this team against FU in the last game I mentioned earlier. 26 points against Adamson in that game. It's the season high for anybody so far in the tournament. 35 big points for Elisa Valdez, but still, they went down in defeat against Adamson University. This is a game without Phil Cainglet.
Well, you know, volleyball is a team sport. You have one really good player in Elisa Valdez who arguably is one of the better, if not the best player in this tournament. But yeah, it is a team sport. They don't have Phil Cainglet, and obviously that's a leader that they look up to. So, you know, the outcome of that game showed that they still lack that, I wouldn't say experience, they're very experienced, but that leadership that will carry them through that match. And you can see it's a 5-setter, and Adamson relying on Pao Soriano and the rest of the veterans to carry them through, which is what they're looking for in Phil Cainglet.
Adamson played an incredible game, winning the first 2 sets. Yes, losing the second and the third and fourth, but in the 5th set, gathered their bearings and pulled that one off and scored off 35 Ateneo errors. That's 35 free points, Noreen. That's big.
So you can see that they crumbled during that game. If a team can commit 35 errors, you know, I mean, a team like Adamson will take that any day, and they did.
And they even outblocked Adamson, but that was negated because of the number of errors that Ateneo had. There's a bright spot, though, in that game against Adamson. They had 4 players in double figures. I mentioned Elisa Valdez. Gretchen Ho also had 10. Or 11 rather. Zia Hervasio had 10. Ella De Jesus came up big. She obviously was the next one after Phil Cainglet. She came up with 15. So if you look at the bright side of this team, yes, they had 35 points from Elisa, but they had 3 others who scored in double figures, and that may bode well for this game.
Which is actually a good sign for Coach Roger, because you cannot rely just on one player. I was mentioning earlier, it's a team sport. People like Gretchen Ho, we know her capacity as a player, and maybe Gemini Ferrer should go to her more so as to lift the pressure off on Eliza Valdez. And yes, we're talking about Ella De Jesus. The question right now we want to pose to Ella is, can she, for the remainder of the games that Phil Cainglet won't be playing, can she maintain that composure that Phil Cainglet always maintains during a game? And can she step up to the plate?
15 points on 13 attacks. She feels the sense of urgency, and you will feel that in this interview with Selena Dagdag.
So Ella, ano ang pakiramdam at ikaw ang binigyan ni Coach Roger ng tiwala para mag-step in para kay Phil Cainglet ng nakaraang laban niya sa Lasal?
Of course, I feel honored kasi malaking role yung ginampanan ko noon last game. But then, lagi ko iniisip, sabi nga ni Coach, pag may opportunity ka, lagi mo i-grab yung chance. So yun lang iniisip ko na pagpasok ko, I did not play for myself naman eh. I played for the team.
Yeah, we definitely saw how you played for the team, Ella. Having said that, how do you think is the team planning to bounce back after this 2-game losing streak?
So, kailangan na namin stop yung bleeding kasi, masyado nang parang malalim na and, ayun. So, sabi ni Coach na simulan na namin today and kailangan namin mag-bounce back and kailangan namin manalo kasi baka kung ano pa mangyari.
Oo nga, Ella, may tiwala kami sa'yo. Good luck sa game niya mamaya. Back to you, Boom and Noreen.
Ang sinasabi ko kanina, you can feel the sense of urgency in that interview. We'll see if that will translate into a win today as we give you the starting 6. Ateneo versus FEU for game number 2 on your Wednesday double dip.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very pleasant Wednesday afternoon from the Pillow Flying V Arena here in San Juan as we bring you match number 34 in the Women's Volleyball Tournament of Diamond Season 75 UAAP. Officiating this match, first referee, Jess W. Villarreal, National Referee. Our second referee, Jasper Jimenez, National Referee. Now let's meet the starters for both teams. First, for the FEU Lady Tamaraws. Number 12, team captain, Giselle C. Number 9, Mary Palma. Number 5, Rosemary Vargas. Number 2, Majorie Rojas. Number 15, Gwyneth Eulalio. Number 4, Maritoni Basas. Their libero, number 1, Christine Acto. And the head coach of the Lady Tamaraws, Kit Santos. And now here are the starters for the Ateneo de Manila Lady Eagles. Number 12, Jem Fener. Number 3, Gretchen Horn. Number 8, Ella De Jesus. Number 16, Captain T. Herbacio. Number 10, Marge Tejada. Number 2, Eliza Valdez. Their libero, number 13, Den Lazaro. And the head coach of the Lady Eagles, the ever-smiling, jolly Roger Gorayev.
Starting. Well, the starting 6 on your screens for both Ateneo.
Start of our ball game, FEU's captain Giselle C. to serve.
Ateneo looking to bounce back. FEU looking to continue its winning ways in this match. As you see, Ella De Jesus starting for the injured Phil Kainglet, who has been in uniform the last couple of times, but that doesn't mean, of course, she's playing. She wants to be in uniform to show, you know, a little bit of unity with the team.
Support.
Yeah, but obviously you look down the road, and if you're Coach Roger Gorayeb, you don't want to risk it if you're not 100% of your former captain. And again, that is her first ever sprain, and the first ever sprain usually takes longer than a person who has been sprained before.
Yeah, that's right. And I saw her a while ago. She was warming up, doing those spike and receive drill, and she was limping. So you know that no way Coach Roger will risk her today.
Yeah. 1-all. Gretchen Ho, as I mentioned, in double figures the last time out. 4 players from Ateneo able to get there. Five setters for this team. 3-2 is their record in the 5-set matches that they've had, and one of them was against this team, the FU Lady Tamarao, still coached by Nespa Millar at that time.
But you know, FEU, this is a good gauge to their
Correct.
rising, their rising performance,
Yes.
so to speak. But if they can actually hurdle Ateneo, obviously they're a different team really altogether.
That is a very good point, Noreen. As we bring in the third member of our broadcast team, you heard her earlier with Ella De Jesus, we bring back Selena Dagdag.
Over the course of the past 2 games, there's one lesson that Coach Roger did not fail to impart to his Lady Eagles. The fact that there is no shame in losing. Nang nakausap ko si Coach Roger sa loob ng dugout kanina, ang sabi niya pa sa akin, we never learn from winning, but we learn many things from losing. Coming into today's game, the girls are dead set on putting an end to their second 2-game losing streak. As Coach Roger would put it, there's several mistakes we made which we did not commit in practice, but it is all part of the game. For now, we just want to maintain our standing at panalunin ang mga laro, papasok pa lang ng pangatlong set. Boom and Noreen.
The last time Ateneo lost back-to-back, Noreen and Selena and everybody listening out there, was in 2010. I'm talking about elimination round, okay? Because they lost back-to-back in the finals against LaSalle. But when we're talking about elimination round, the last time they lost was December 15, 2010. That's the first round of season 73. They actually lost 3 in a row in that sequence. UE, DLSU, and Adamson were the ones who victimized them. And since then, they haven't really lost 2 in a row. So that's why we're also putting in perspective why this is a big thing for them, because it hasn't happened since 2010.
That's right. And of course, coming into this season, everybody has high expectations of Ateneo. And of course, LaSalle, no? Because Ateneo made it to their first ever finals last season, so they had high expectations. And then they lose 2 in a row. So that now people are asking, or questioning what's going on with the squad.
By the way, the teams that they lost to, well, there were no patsies. LaSalle and Adamson is just, I love watching Adamson play.
Me too.
They're so well-rounded. Defensively and offensively, and on a really good day when they're clicking, they're very, very dangerous. As we check in with Judy Sarrell, who's still breathing here from the FEU side. Judy.
Bumen na rin bago magsimula ang laro, nakausap ko si Remy Palma at tinanong ko siya kung gaano niya baka gustong manalo ngayon laban sa Ateneo. Sagot naman niya sa akin, talagang gusto daw niyang manalo dahil gusto daw niyang ma-experience na makapasok naman sa Final Four. Dahil naman sa kagustuhan iyon, sinabi niya sa akin na talagang pinag-aralan nila ang set play, blocking at atake ng Lady Eagles. Dagdag pa niya, advantage para sa kanila ang hindi paglalaro ni Kainglet. Pero nang nakausap ko si Coach Brian kanina, sinabi niya na hindi ito gaano kalaking advantage. Sabi niya, dapat nilang tandaan na anima ng volleyball at huwag nilang kakalimutan na may Valdez at Hervasio pa silang natitira. Bumen na rin.
Maraming salamat, Judy. Klaruhin lang natin yung sinasabi ni Judy na gusto nilang pumasok sa Final Four. Not that this win will automatically get them into the Final Four, but obviously they'll have better footing because that will give them a 5-4 team standing and break them out of a logjam. In the meantime, as FEU wins that point, gaano kalaki ang pagkawala ni Phil Kainglet? She is averaging 12.6 in this tournament. That's 2.2 points per set and 11 attacks. So
wow.
that's second only to Eliza Valdez. So yes, I will have to agree that that girl is very valuable, and tama yung obserbasyon nila ng FEU na malaking bagay talaga ang pagkawala ni Phil.
Oh, that's right. Because, if you have a first six, aside from Lasal, because Lasal has so many people to use, but every other team, if you lose one part of your first six, medyo, you can say in dental terms, bunge. You're losing something, you're lacking something. And not to mention Apilka, and what else does she bring to the squad? Her leadership. That's all I keep saying, her leadership, because she is looked up to by her teammates.
Yes, she is also, to add to that, one of the better servers, one of the better receivers and diggers. So it's not only the attacking that you will miss, it's the fact that she is an all-around. She has turned into an all-around player for Ateneo. So tama ka, hindi lang yung bungi, yung rhythm ng rotation. May iba talaga eh. And speaking of rhythm, FEU off to a good start with an 8-6 count in the first set. Back in a moment. Volleyball tournament. Pa-relax lang si Coach Bert Flores at si Athletic Director Mark Molina on hand here at Volleyball Central at the arena. And wearing the FEU colors. And hoping to get a big win, a big fish today in the person of Ateneo de Manila University. They're in the lead, 8-6.
That's really nice to see all these other personalities from other sports come support, let's say, volleyball and vice versa. During my time, you hardly see that. You always see a certain group of people just watching the sports that they follow. But now it's so nice for UAAP in general.
You want to question the morale right now of Ateneo coming into this game, their spirits. Where are they mentally trying to bounce back as narigaluhan? But Palma able to take advantage of that. Gervasio skips, and again the blocking of FEU has been solid so far here in the first set.
Well, you're right. Ateneo right now, they need to group themselves together, and forget the absence of a Phil Cainglet.
Forget the losses too.
That's right, and forget the losses, but they shouldn't question themselves already with their performance here although they lost 2 straight games, that's nothing. They can still bounce back.
They're still number 2.
Exactly.
Look at that. Look at the blocking of FEU. Reading the plays of Ateneo very well and are behind by 5 early in the first.
Zip, malayo ka sa net, bakit gaganunin mo lang yung bola? Baliktad kayo eh. Pag dikit kayo sa net, naharumpak nyo ng todo-todo yung bola kahit ang daming blocker. Pag malayo kayo sa net, ginaganong-ganon nyo lang yung bola. Hindi nga dapat harumpakin nyo dahil malayo kayo sa net, kailangan yung pahabain yung palo nyo. Binabaliktad yung laro. Nare-receive ka na naman, dikit mo na naman
A very subdued timeout. Then this is the reason why I ask about their spirits. Noreen, you played the game. You played the game. Both of us know that your psyche going into a match and then while the match is evolving is as important as the technique, as your skills, and as your preparation.
Well, when you're in a game, for me all the time, when you're in a game, you know that you've practiced already. You're prepared, okay? So in terms of skills, it's there. That's given.
Yeah.
So what you have to work on per game is your mental focus or your mental toughness, which sometimes I still see teams, they fail to practice that. They rely so much on their skill, they don't realize the importance of mental toughness coming into match. Why do I say that? Because you're talking about, aside from your opponent, the crowd, people are, the boos, you won't get all praises and applause.
Correct.
The boos, how can you deal with that and translate it into a game, into your game?
How do you develop that?
Well, for me.
Yes, for you.
For me, it's a constant reminder. It's a constant process of checking your game itself, your team's output, and then you keep talking about it, and then you always have to instill it in your mind. It's called imagery as well. It's when you put it in your mind that I can do this.
Visualize it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a constant reminder, and it's a never-ending process.
Correct. Even the veterans still practice that as another muffed play for Ateneo. Back set to Vargas. Jem was there. Z to De Jesus. Z, I think, crossed, no? she crossed? She crossed, right?
Yeah.
An obvious cross,
Her
too.
whole right leg was actually in the opponent's court. But you know, if a team can develop that, it makes all the difference in the game.
Yes,
in
exactly.
The sport.
That's what separates, the good players from the great ones in any sport. It separates sometimes players who are even lesser skilled in terms of talent. They're probably quote unquote lower, but their mind is superior.
Yes.
Their toughness is superior. Then sometimes they come out bigger winners. As we see Valdez in the front line, and that's always good news for the girls in blue.
Well, Eliza Valdez kind of silent here yet in this first set, but that hopefully that will pop up the squad.
That's not going to take long for sure. Okay, you mentioned this in the pregame, and I really want to ask you, is she the best player in the game right now? When you consider overall skills and attacking and all of that. Is she, okay, let me simplify the question. Is she the best offensive player we have in the league right now? Numbers back it up.
Numbers back it up,
but-
yes. What I like about Eliza Valdez is her attitude coming to each match. You don't feel, or she doesn't show in her game, or she doesn't exude that overconfidence, that yabang. She's there, and you know that she's still wanting to do her best. That's how I feel. That's how I observe her to be. So you know that she still wants to learn, wants to improve, wants to contribute to her squad. That in itself will say that she's one of the best. I will not say she's the best. Baka may mga other fans who will say,
Yeah.
So she's she's really up there with a lot of others.
Because when I say best player, of course, you have to consider overall
Yeah.
skills. That's why I'm singling out at least as an attacker, is she the best that we have? We have, Sheila Pineda is in there in that conversation right now. For a time, Rosemary Vargas was coming up in the conversation. Of course, we now have Pablo, we have Santiago.
Galang.
Yes, Galang among the girls who are really doing very well. I like the fact that Valdez can adjust, every now and then. It's not all about power for her and not just one kind of angle. Esperer could not handle that. Rosemary Vargas, the lefty, is confusing this Ateneo defense, and they're up by 6. We're back here at the arena in San Juan. And a lot of people don't recognize our volley bells when they're already out of their uniforms. And that's the National U Lady Bulldogs, who notched another win today, making a strong case for the Final Four. That girl in the middle, Dindin Santiago, right there.
Still
second
so fresh.
best, yes, second best scorer in the league.
And she looks so fresh. Did she play?
Tejada with a soft drop, not going to work against this great ground game by FEU, but Ateneo gets the point there.
You know what's nice about FEU? The 3 games that they won. I would always say that obviously there's Eulalio connection. If that works,
yes.
if that works, and then the blockers will try to contain them, that frees up a lot of time, for the blocker to actually try to follow the open hitter. So Basas has open space, or Majorie Rojas. So, but what's crucial for FU is that Eulalio connection. They have to go to that, and if it works, that's a good sign for FU.
Tejada has good timing. She really has to develop her strength. It reminds me of Pilka Inglet during her first year as that power tipper. And again, the variety from Eliza Valdez just incredible. Tejada reminds me of Pilka Inglet in her first year, in the sense that Phil had form. She knew how to vary, but she had no power or lack of power whatsoever. And it looks like Tejada is in that stage right now. Marge Tejada, the Daet Bicol native, serving. Jesus was there to dig.
Oh, Demir.
Ateneo salvages that one, and they go back to Valdez. Scores zone 1.
Oh my God.
Again, this girl can import it.
Actually. So you know what's nice about Valdez in that play? As we can see, we're talking about her. She has this attitude. that attitude na kill. She wants to
Oh,
kill it,
yeah,
go
yeah,
for
yeah.
it, being aggressive.
Yun ang first option.
Oo.
To
Like
kill.
that one, di ba? Turnaround shot. She just
Yes.
came from a block, a spike,
Yes.
but she still went up for that. That's how people should be. You know, your last option, ultimate last option is that free ball, that underhand. But if you can do that, turn around, vertical leap hit, that would be good for your team.
She seems to be mentally tough too in the big moments. She likes attacking. Of course, she'll have your errors, but when they go to her during the big moments, she usually delivers too. So the question about Valdez as Ho mistimes this. Was that a quick? Was that a differential from Jem Ferrer?
That's a be quick.
To be quick. The question for Alyssa really is the fitness part, especially because they go to her a lot. Let's listen in on Ateneo or down by 6.
Kasi pag bumula ka, huwag mong harapin yung block. Itapat mo yung kamay mo doon sa court ng kalaban. Hindi nakaharap ka sa block. Talagang outside yun. Ganyan ba naman tayong magturuan yan, Gretz? Yan ang huwag kang magsusugal. Huwag kang magbibigay ng sibat kung wala kang tao rito pang suporta. Pag lumusot yung bola, walang kukuha eh. Pinatakbo mo doon si Baldo, pinasibat mo siya rito. Ano yung ano mo doon? Ano yung assurance mo ron? Eh, parehas mong pinakwit yan. Sino ang bibigyan mo dyan? Ay, wala ka namang atake dito sa likod. Eh, parehas mong pinakwit yan eh.
Well, Coach Francis Vicente, they've been talking about his look today. I actually have seen him sport this look in previous years every now and then.
The Pat Riley look.
Yeah.
No, but you know, you're right.
Parang natalo, no? Yung itsura niya, parang seryoso. Anyway, you were saying. Yes,
No, you're right, no, because the approach of Gretchen Ho was a be quick, but obviously that's a miscommunication on their part because based on that timeout, Ferrer wanted to give a sibat, you know,
Yes.
which is a quick open hit.
Yes.
So yeah, miscue there by Ho and Ferrer.
Lead us down to 5, make that 4 after that misreception by FEU. Slow start at the last year's finalists. Now this is a concern for Ateneo when Alyssa goes back row, but you know that they go to her still even at the back row. But we'll see how they deal with it here as Tony Pasas gets checked at the net. Palma, medyo mataas. Ho goes up to De Jesus.
Oh, good
Rojas.
Good thing.
Ferrer goes to Ho. Good coverage there by Vargas. Oh, the power tip.
That's smart tip there by Vargas. But you know, you can sense that Ferrer and Ho right now having problems with their plays. That's the second one.
5-point lead for Tony Basas and the rest of FEU.
Oh, but Boom, you were talking about Alyssa Valdez and her fitness level. You know, you're right, but you can only ask from, how much can you ask from a player if, you know, it goes 5 sets and she gets majority of the sets? Really,
35 points lang naman.
diba? I mean, others will score that in 3 games, so
You're right.
you have to realize
Yes.
that. So she's trying her best, you know, that to stay fit and stay healthy throughout a 5-setter. But
Yeah. And remember, these are students too, and they've got a lot to attend to in school. You know, it's not just volleyball that they're taking care of. It's Jem Ferrer with a great serve. But FEU unable to save that, so kumahabol dito ng bagya. Ang Ateneo gaining a little steam, cutting the lead down to 2. Coach Kidd calls the timeout. Let's listen in.
Huwag yung madaliin, dahan-dahanin nyo lang. Kaya natin yan ha. Relax lang, relax lang tayo ha. Pag-atake, Remy, bilisan mo pasok. Bahala si Rose. Okay? Yung sinet mo, coverage. Yung sinet natin, coverage nyo. Baka bumalik. Okay, pag hindi bumalik, problema na nila yun. Okay, relax lang. Service receive tayo. Pagkadalawa sila. Hey! Hindi malakas yung service, short ball lang. Short ball.
Pampakalma lang yung timeout ni Coach Kidd.
you know, that's a classic timeout of breaking the momentum of your opponent.
The lead was up to 6, down to 2 here. Ateneo making a chase. Ferrer continues to serve. 2-time best setter in our last year and hoping to graduate with a title. C opens up to Vargas. handled by Ateneo. De Jesus off speed.
Oh,
Look at that floor defense, as I said. Better communication there between Ferrer and Ho. And a great fake by Gervasio.
FEU complaining that it did not go over, but the referee called.
Let's look at it again then. That's tough. That is tough. Even in slow-mo. Giselle C and Jem Ferrer are the best in that. And especially when you consider their height.
Yeah, that's right. How they managed to really get one over the opponent.
Yep.
Speaks highly of their game. But you know, FEU doing a good job here in the first set. But the challenge right now actually is for Ateneo because they have yet, there you go, another error. They have yet to play the game that people know them to play. They're kind of tentative still here in this first set.
They lost the first 2 sets against Adamson the last time out. They're right now behind by 3, and that is also what FEU needs to pocket this first set. Giselle C, one of the better servers also in the league. Lazaro receiving. Gervasio. Oh, that floor defense. Vargas. Lazaro's there. Ferrer underhand to De Jesus. Off speed again, it's a little high. Rojas, the lefty again, finds an angle. That's the problem when you're dealing with the lefty. She can angle her body differently and fool some players. Look at how they're blocking her. That's tough.
No, and in that slow-mo, it's so evident. A very good set by C.
Yeah.
She really fooled Gretchen Ho, so Gretchen Ho is already a second late. So Rojas able to get that.
Overset. Over-received, rather. That brings us to set point for FEU.
You know, if people see this slow-mo, this call, actually no, in the slow-mo it doesn't look obvious, but during the play, it could be a judgment call because the ball was in her hand for quite a while.
Okay.
Some referees will call that lifting.
Okay. Yan na naman. This time nanggigan si Palma. And that cannot be. Ateneo, no room for error now.
Well, set point for FEU. But you know, funny, when they put that rule into play, you cannot block the setter when they set. You know, the smart setters, they use that.
Yes.
Right? They know they can't set it, they'll just
Correct.
get a hand
Poporma.
on it.
Mistimed on the attack. Ferrer will give the first set to FEU, who are looking to build on their 3-game winning streak and win decisively here, 25-20. Back in a moment with second set action at the arena in San Juan. We are at the arena in San Juan, and if you just joined us, first set is already done and over with, and FEU continues their winning ways here in the first set, and it was an all-around game, but it was their blocking and their floor defense really that gave them a chance here.
Well, FEU, I would like to say, is for real. You know, so far the 3-game winning streak doesn't look like a fluke right now because they won the first set. And how did they do it? Basic volleyball. You know, when you watch that first set, nothing spectacular. They just played their game because Ateneo actually was very erratic there in that first set. A lot of unforced errors. And of course, C bannered that FEU first set victory by setting very well, giving it to Ross, giving it to Basas, of course not to Palma and Eulalio. So they just played basic volleyball. They're aggressive. They blocked well. You were talking about it. Floor defense. Amazing, and they actually frustrated the offense of Ateneo.
That's a great point. Yes, they did. And this is the FEU team that we expected to see from the start of the season, right? Because of all yung tawag nilang paghihinog nila in the last 2 years as a group. As you look at the attacks, you look at the blocks, so even if they committed more errors, they still won that because they were just better offensively and defensively.
Well, they did receive, really better there in that first set. They're able to, like I said, able to distribute her sets to her different spikers. But because they were able to receive better, and as a result, you can see the numbers of the attacks. 13 successful attacks.
And now a change up here. Zia Ravasio will go to the bench. Amy Ahumiro will now start set number 2. Ateneo will have its work cut out for them again. In this match, Ella Desus starts us off. Boom Gonzalez, Noreen Go. Judy Sarrell, Selena Dagdag, Direk Abet Ramos at the helm of this live and exclusive ABS-CBN sports coverage. Napakamot na lang si Coach Roger. Sabi ng Barker natin, the ever-smiling Coach Roger. But believe me, that smile.
I know, says
is
a million things.
Is a front for the frustration that is bubbling right now. And another error, a reception error, which leads to Vargas finding an easy spot there for a 2-0 early lead.
A soft touch there by Vargas. But you know, Ateneo right now, they really have to regroup. So much, they need to regroup and forget about the 2 losses, the first set loss. Because they can play well even without Philca in left.
Oh, Palma got a little bit ambitious on that one. She does have the tendency to, excuse me, palm. Palma had palmed the ball. And minsan nahuhulihan siyang ganyan. And again, this is a young girl who's still trying to learn the nuances of her net game.
Tsaka, you know, you can see in her game, it's medyo she lacks that gulang factor.
Oh. The Vargas of old, if I may say.
Exactly.
When this girl came in, right? She, in her rookie year, remember, she was a Scud missile. The FU, yes, yes, right? The power, the natural raw power that she had. The audience, the FU crowd, always had a gasp every time she would attack when she was a rookie. And I think her injury has, diba, parang derailed her improvement. And also kind of have done something to her power, her lift. She's heavily wrapped up her right leg, just like Rosemary Vargas, who is also heavily wrapped up in her ACL knee, her leg, her whole leg.
And the lift isn't the same, as
Okay,
when
Vargas,
she was first year.
Oh, Giselle C sent it back. Ferrer back to Valdez. Babawi sa kabila naman. Inaanggulo, no? Yun yung sinasabi mo. This girl can do it all and from different angles.
Yeah, she knows obviously that they are checking her down the line. So one good dig, I can do it in the other side.
2, serving 4 as we check it with Selena Dagdag.
Coach Roger had very specific instructions as to how he wants his Lady Eagles to hit the ball. Ang sabi niya sa kanila, ipalo niyo sa itaas ang bola kahit anong klaseng pagdating nila yan. Isaibabaw ang palo niyo para ang palad niyo lang ang pagagalawin niyo. Paulit-ulit ring diniin ni Coach Roger na ang butas ng FEU ay nasa gitna. This is the reason why he demanded his blue shirts to bring the ball to the middle of their opponent's court and not to the back. Lastly, sinabi ni Coach Roger na i-adjust dapat nila ang depensa nila sa kaliweteng kamay ni Major Rojas. Boom and Noreen.
Thank you very much.
Well, but obviously, they're not going for that. We're talking about Ateneo. We're talking about that butas in the center of FEU's defense, but so far, I haven't seen a point off that.
For all. There's another thing, a last point I want to make about Rosemary Vargas. If anybody remembers her first year too, and I'm sure there are a lot of fans out there, as we see this point from Eulalia, that's very predictable. Eulalia is, that's what she does here for FEU. If there's anything that we remember from Vargas, she had a defective flick of her wrist, and yung approach niya, yung swing, yung wind-up niya was very defective in her first year. That's why we all saw raw power, because her technique was not yet perfect, and she already was so powerful. She corrected that, as Jem Ferrer was trying to fool FEU, but now, yun nga yung injury ang parang nag-neutralize ng correction eh. Valdez puts a period. On that one, 5-all is our score. Let's check in with Judy Sarrell from the FEU side.
Orvin, that is what Coach Kid and the whole FEU squad's goal this season. Kung gusto nyo humaba pa ang paglaro nyo this season, talunin nyo ang Ateneo at ang mga susunod nyo pang laro. Yan ang hamon ni Coach Kid sa Lady Tamaraws. Bago naman magsimula ang second set, gusto ni Coach Kid na ipagpatuloy nila ang magandang nasimulan at masiglahan pa ang susunod na mga set at kung kakayanin, tapusin na sa third set. Dumanurin.
Maraming salamat, Judy. What a set by Giselle C, who was running to the net and perfectly pitches it to Eulalia. Look at that. Oh, wow. That's an Owishi oh, wow moment of the game. Owishi oh, wow open up to everyday surprises.
Well, that connection is really working or doing wonders for FEU. But you know, Boom, you were talking about Rosemary Vargas before. You're right, no? She started off pretty much pure talent because she gets the ball across and with a lot of power. But in time, she was able to correct her form. But yeah, sorry. It was sorry for her that she got her injury.
Yeah. 7-5 is the score. De Jesus puts a little muscle into that to cut the lead to 1.
Well, Ella De Jesus has to elevate really in this match. She really has to step up. She can't do what she's been doing in the first set. Over lang. You know, she wasn't that effective in the first set, and she needs to give it more power, more heart.
Oh, Eulalia again gets them into the technical timeout with a 2-point lead. Action is picked up here in the second set. Full force ang FEU, Noreen. They know how big the game is anyway. It's true, and I'm sure the officials want to give as much support as they can to this team. And, you know, it's always nice seeing the quote-unquote bosses around when you're playing a big game. Moral support that they're providing.
Yeah, and of course, and we all know as players how that changes the game because you'll be more ganado to play.
Exactly.
Because you said, oh, see, head, sir, like that is there.
Yes.
So that's a good sign for FU. Obviously, you know, the officials or the heads of the school, they recognize that they're in a streak. Come on, let's build that.
A very unorthodox 6 now for Coach Roger, who has been forced to adjust. May Tajima and Amy Ahomiro both playing in the match at the same time.
Well, obviously, Coach Roger finding that first 6 that will work for him, really just experimenting right now.
Yep. Gem saving this one. Oh, look at that. Valdez still hitting it. Nakuha na Ateneo.
Oh, good chase.
Free ball. Chance ball. Wow, Ahomiro, their own version of a left quick.
Oh, I saw her play in the match against UP. Coach Roger had that luxury of fielding 3 different 6s in 3 different sets, but they all played well. And Ahomiro actually played very well that game.
You were telling me.
Yep.
Oh, nice block by Ahomiro. Another one, Palma. Valdez was there. They set her up from the back row. Inalalayan lang. Giselle C opens up to Basas. Checked again.
Oh, net violation by Basas.
Net na, na-block pa. This is a very crucial moment for Ateneo in terms of morale. Parang they're switching it on. They have scored 3 straight points. And they're looking to turn around their game here. Wala pa silang momentum dito sa laban eh.
That's right. And you know, they're doing that without Zihar Vasho.
Correct. And Gretchen Ho. Agno has been solid for FEU. Oh, the net playing a part in the confusion there for Ella De Jesus.
Well, that's the luck of the draw. I'm talking about luck for FEU. But yeah, at least now you can feel some renewed vigor from Ateneo. No,
Exactly. That's a great statement. Yeah.
First set, it's like, are they even here?
That's why I was questioning the spirit. No, Ahomiro with her second attack. Oh, Phil Kainglet on the bench is jumping up. Easy lang, Phil. Baka ma-re-injure, ha?
Can you sit down, please?
How can you not get excited? You got a teammate who doesn't see a lot of action, and then she scores 2 straight. Again, nagugulat ang FEU dito dahil hindi nila inaasahan yan. Pero yun, Palma naman sumagot with a kill.
Can you imagine if Palma could develop that?
Yes.
Wow.
We have Vargas and Palma.
That even caught Denden Lazaro by surprise.
Who, by the way, celebrated a birthday a couple of days ago. The same day that Sheila Pineda celebrated a birthday, as Ahumiro again was there. Why not? Why not go back to the well if there's a lot of water?
You're right. You know, simple. She's doing it. She's just putting it over, looking for that hole. She eluded the block. Very smart player.
First of all, she's a lefty, and that's always an advantage. Just ask Majorie Rojas. Secondly, it's going to do so well for her own personal confidence in the ring. Valdez is in the front line again. C able to pop it back up. Passes from the back line.
Oh.
Not her specialty. Not her specialty yet, at least.
She totally mistimed that jump. No flick of the wrist, so it just looked like a serve, actually.
For those watching, it's not as easy as it looks.
Oh, yeah.
Hitting from the back row. Ooh! Bumped by a little adrenaline. It was Amy Ahumiro giving a point to FEU here, but she's the woman of the moment for Ateneo, giving them a rare lead.
If you look at the face of Ahumiro, she looks like, you know, she has her game face on. Which is what they need right now.
Ferrer quick to Tejada.
That's good for Tejada. That should boost her confidence.
She has it eh. Again, it's just the lack of power pa. Kita mo yung bagal ng ng bola, pero she has the timing. She has, you can see the natural volleyball instincts are there.
Actually,
they wouldn't recruit her if
that's true. No, I think she's MVP in high school.
In San Beda.
But you can see in that slow-mo, you're right, she has it. What she doesn't have is parang laging nagmi-miss-hit pa. You know, she doesn't get it solid. But you're right, though, for Ateneo, this is a turning point. You know, if they go on to lose this set, that's going to be a problem.
This particular moment, too, when we were at 8-6 lamang ang FEU, the technical timeout changed their moves.
That's right.
We'll see if magpatuloy yun. Lazaro sets it up to Eliza. Nagdalawang isip. That's what we're talking about. The girl can... I mean, I hate to sound like a broken record, but that's my job also. So, because we have viewers who are tuning in at different times of the game. The girl has variety in her chest of weapons.
And you can see in that slow-mo, she full approach,
swing,
full swing, everything. So, you know what? That caught Yulalo and Rojas talagang flat-footed with that tip.
Jesus is checked.
They have to cover. Ateneo, I'm talking about Ateneo. They have to cover.
They have very tall players for Ateneo right now. You have Valdez, Ahumiro, and Tajima, or maybe a little bit on the slower side in terms of coverages. So that's what they're sacrificing with this lineup right now.
Well, Coach Roger really just trying to experiment.
No. Forced it. Lead has disappeared. It's at 14-all now.
Well, Ella De Jesus not in her element today. We've seen her. We know what she can do. And today, kind of, I don't know, battling herself.
Open spot, and Valdez dives into it. And now the lead back to FEU. Kid Santos continues to coach here. At the sideline.
I've been listening to Coach Kid because he's right in front of us. You can really see, okay lang yan. I mean, forget
exactly.
it. Obviously working for FEU.
Miscommunication. A gift? No.
A gift?
It is. It was. And FEU takes over again and gets into the second technical timeout with the lead. Back here at Volleyball Central, the venue for Wednesday's games, also for Saturday and Sunday during the weekend. Right now, FEU regaining the lead. They were down 3 earlier, now up 2 again after leading after the first technical timeout and the second. Now their lead again is back to 2. Majorie Rojas on deck.
But you know, with what happened during the first round, no, coming to the second round, it just goes to show you that that cliche, that ilog ang bola, it's really true. You can see with FU, they started off strong. Then they started losing, and then they were questioning their confidence. With that first win, they built their confidence, and now you can feel it throughout the games. They're getting better and better. Now, for Ateneo, for me, they started out really strong. No, they didn't lose to anyone. No defeats. Lost twice, and now they're a different team.
Yep.
Altogether. So that's a question talaga of character for...
Psyche.
Yeah, the psyche.
Hindi lang bilog ang bola. Bilog na bilog yung butas doon sa Ateneo dahil kanina pa tina-target ng FEU kasamang Noreen. Umabante na ng 4 ito. And I don't know. This is not going to be a pretty timeout to listen to, but let's listen to them.
In front of you, but you're watching, you're just running. How can you get the ball if you're running? You're supposed to defend, not during the actual attack. Because they can give, even the first ball, they can give it back to us. If you're watching the ball, what will happen? I told you, 24/7 ang abang sa bola. Hindi yung pag ina-atake na, tsaka tayo umaabang sa bola. Eh, tinutungangaan ninyo eh.
Yun yung short ball din.
Well, there you go. Singled out in that timeout. Coach Roger wants focus all throughout the match as now Amy Ahumiro, who did her job, also catching up here. It's a learning process for her as Zia Hervasio is back in the match.
Way to go, Coach Roger. That was straight English.
Yeah.
Don't you love it when they do that?
Yep.
Oh, good dig.
It's great defense, really. It's their defense that's propelling everything, Noreen.
That's right. You know, even that spike, it was very deep. But with good defense, they were able to convert it to their own quick, which will only happen if you have good defense.
That's very high-level volleyball.
Yeah.
Better reception, Tajima. That's off. A net violation.
Wow, lucky break.
Ateneo, tawagin natin sa volleyball parlance, Noreen, kailangan kumapit talaga dito. Dahil hindi pa tapos to eh.
That's right. We've seen weirder things happen in matches. So, but then again, yeah, they have to regroup. Still, I would keep saying that.
Yep.
Kulang eh.
Especially defensively.
Yeah.
But then De Lazaro has been trying very hard to hold the fort there. And Coach Roger is going to call another timeout. Is he also going to send Gretchen Hall back in?
Sa'yo, maliwanag naman. Di ba lang hindi ka na makapalo? May sundan mo lang yung breaker. Huwag mo lang papaluin. Sa haba ng kamay mo na yan, hindi mo pa makita yung bola. Problema kasi sa'yo, pinapapalo mo, tsaka mo bablakin. Hindi mo talaga mabablak yan. Pagtalon niya, di sundan mo. Kayo naman, alam naman yung papalo. Wala namang pinalo yung papunta dito sa kanan ninyo eh. Puro papunta doon din. Hindi nyo pa abangan. Abangan nyo na doon. Blakin nyo dito. Tulungan mo doon pag bumablock yung quick. Tulungan mo.
The experimental lineup worked for a while. Now, lead has ballooned to 5 for FEU. An interesting second round for all these teams that are involved in this tournament, other than LaSalle, which is still in its dominating ways. But did have a problem against National University the last time out, if you notice, no, Noreen. So
I saw that. I watched that.
Wala ang tutulugang team talaga dito eh.
No, even Adamson's really playing well here.
A wonderful team. You know, Sherwin Meneses may not talk a lot, may not say a lot, but he has done a spectacular job.
Sorry, I had to laugh because the marker actually fell.
Butas kasi yan dito sa likod eh. I was saying Sherwin Meneses for Adamson will not talk a lot, but he's done a spectacular job in lieu of Coach Dulce Pante, who has already retired from Adamson University.
You're right, no? I mean, I hats off to Coach Sherwin with what he's doing right now with Adamson. I mean, they're probably, arguably, the only team who can play in a consistent level. I mean, if you're playing against like a UE who hasn't won, they'll win it in 3 sets. No more, they won't extend it. You play against a strong team, Ateneo, let's say NU, it'll go the distance. Because they're going to really, fight it out.
Basas far from the net. Again, miscommunication on defense as the lead has ballooned to 6. 3-game winning streak for FEU, 2-game losing streak for the once #1 Ateneo de Manila University.
If you look at the faces right now, this Ateneo squad, really, they are bewildered.
Girls like to see they gotta step up here, Gretchen, because we already know what Eliza's gonna give us.
Yeah.
So it's the others who have to really bring up their game.
The support group.
Nice attack by Vargas. Single block, not good enough for Rosemary Vargas.
Well, you were mentioning it, Boom, earlier. It's really the defense of Ateneo that's really not clicking for them. So with that, they're not able to produce decent sets from, or their best sets from there.
Again.
And that's your libero. That's Den Lazaro. So even Den Lazaro, she's having problems right now.
Reception errors. Hole in the middle. And the alternate libero, Bea Tan, is now in for Den Lazaro. Wow, I have not seen Coach Roger make as many lineup changes in a match like this. And the momentum is truly with the FEU Lady Tamaraws, who are now ahead by 2 sets to love.
Well, that last point, that was again a perfect set by Giselle C.
And a perfect comeback then for them. Remember, they were up and then down and came back up to win this match. Win this set. Let's see what happens in the third when we come back. (25-20, 25-17). FEU 2 sets up. So if Ateneo wants to win, they gotta do it the hard way. Remember, they've had the most court time than any team in this league, in this tournament this year, with 5 5-setters. And if they want to notch their 7th win in this tournament, they'll have to do it via the back door.
Well, you were talking about it before we went on that break. Coach Roger has never had so many substitutions. And then he did that in that second set. Obviously, he's really finding the right people. I'm already saying the right players.
Trying to find them.
Exactly. He is trying to find the players that will click, because obviously there's some problem in that Ateneo squad right now. They really need, I keep saying that, they need to talk it over, because you're down 2 sets. You know this is not over. And, that's why I was laughing earlier. The Parker actually tells the whole, that's not nice naman to laugh, but comic relief, because even he was laughing.
That was earlier when the ball was heading towards the table officials, and Eliza Valdez and Tia Bato tried to chase it earlier. I'm looking at the timeout right now of Ateneo, the in-between sets, as you guys look at the numbers and chomp on that. And it's like a mass right now. It's church-like right now in terms of the atmosphere. Very quiet. Coach Roger has sat down, and he's letting the girls talk on their own. But look at that. FEU 18 attacks, and then the 3 errors of Ateneo, which is not bad considering that 7 unforced of FEU. But a lot of this is really reception errors. And when we say that, it's not a stat, because sometimes it's a missed reception that is not led to a set, no, na para
That's
to a
right.
kill. So that's not a stat. But in a way, they just gave FU a chance to attack them because of that missed reception. So even if yung reception, and we saw a couple there that Denden couldn't handle, but even their first ball na pangit,
Yes.
di ba? You can not call that an error, but because it's pangit, nabigyan mo ng pagkakataon yung FU matake.
That's right. And we're talking about the free balls and the easy
Yes.
overs. And
Kaya dumami yung atake.
and attack points of Ateneo 9. I mean, that's normally 9. Valdez pa lang yun eh. You know, it's
Oh,
about
no.
35 kills for Valdez.
Oh no. That was not a pretty play. I'm looking at some of the audience members and they're covering their mouths in disbelief of that exact set that happened there. It's just a strange thing to see this from the Lady Eagles right now, who are in a quandary, down 2 sets, down 1-0 here in set number 3. There's Jesus off speed. Again, the coverage of FEU has been clicking. Free ball.
Yeah, but we keep talking about Ateneo in this array, but we have to mention FEU playing really at a different level right
now, yes. Especially defensively. Giselle C with a couple of great digs. Palma. Oy, ibinigay! Oh, what a dive by Lazaro. Buhay pa to. Pagkakataon sa FEU. Kinaliwa ni Rojas.
Still alive.
Vargas. Lazaro keeps it up. Longest rally of the match. Rojas for the second ball. Lazaro is there again.
She's alive.
Sanchez. Oh! Palma couldn't get to it. Wrong set by Giselle C. The long rally favors Ateneo, and then Lazaro. Wow. Man.
She's alive. I mean, that should boost her spirit and the rest of her teammates.
What an effort. There. Couldn't get to it that time. 2-1 is the score.
I'm sure, you know, I'm looking right now at Coach Roger and Ateneo. I'm sure Phil Kainet just
aching to play.
aching.
I'm sure even Charo is aching to play right now.
Exactly. Fit pa naman si Charo. I think she can still play.
Oh, probably. Oh, that's a rare mistake on the attack. And you know it from Eliza Valdez. Pagbibigyan mo na yan minsan dahil alam mo, minsan lang niya ginagawa yung kanyang pagkakamali.
But I'm actually curious to know how many attacks Eliza Valdez has in today's match.
Okay, let's have a number on that in a bit. In the meantime, let's check in with Selena Dagdag. Selena, your team down 2 sets.
Earlier in the huddle, Coach Roger was able to point out how the Lady Tamaraws are taking their hits right in the middle of our court. And this is the reason why he instructs his Lady Eagles to increase their defense, especially in this area. Coach Roger has been very disappointed at paulit-ulit niyang sinasabi sa team na nauubos lamang ang lamang nila dahil sa ka-error. Diin ni Coach, huwag kayo mag-abang, maglaro kayo. Meanwhile, Captain Zir Basho tells the team to start from scratch. Bumandarin.
Remember, Ateneo is coming off a match where they had 35 errors against Adams, and that did them in. Right now, it's looking that way. Eliza Valdez so far has 10 points, 9 attacks in this match.
But they're silent. No, silent 10 points.
We call that, and they're not impactful yet.
Yeah.
Yun, di ba? Parang ganun.
But normally, so we're here in the third set. Normally, you know, we've been probably been talking about Valdez. Yeah, that's right. Basas with a good save.
Ferrer. Tejada is there. She's checked. She's blocked. De Jesus sends it over to the other side. C. Quickly to Ross. Butas na naman.
Oh, still alive.
Reflexes by Ateneo. But you see them scrambling. See? They're the ones scrambling in this match. And FEU is winning the scrambles.
You know, funny, every time that happens, C will just give a perfect set. You see one blocker. You have De Jesus.
Lalo na kay Rojas.
Oh, covering Rojas. So, C just really outsmarting the Ateneo blockers.
The blocking really actually has been almost non-existent for Ateneo. The opposite for FEU that I've checked a lot the net that time. It was Eulalio. They give themselves a 4-point lead here in set number 3.
That's right, and for those who just joined us, look at that score there. That's true. FU is ahead 2-0 here in this match. That's gonna make a lot of Ateneo fans cry.
Check in with Judy Sarrell from the FEU side.
Sa third set sila bumabawi, kaya dapat walang relax. Isang hirap na lang yan. Kaya natin to. Yan ang sabi ni Team Agno kanina sa timeout. Kitang-kita mo dito sa aking side ang gigil at puso ng Lady Tamaraws. Pero paalala ni Coach Kid na dapat bantayan pa din ang drop balls ng Lady Eagles at iwasan ng errors. Panghuli, nakausap ko ang UAAP board member na si Mr. Anton Montinola at sabi niya, importante talaga itong maipanalo. Isa ito sa daan para makapasok sa Final Four. Boomerine?
There are certain games and matches and wins and losses that kind of affect a team's season already. And maybe this is the reason why FEU is putting so much premium on this game, because they feel this will cap off a winning streak and really propel them to a better campaign for this year. I say that because I've seen it so many times in team sports, even in basketball. There are certain losses that just affect the team so much that it affects the whole season. And it's the same for wins. May mga ganun din.
That's right, no? And, you know, FEU, who would have thought they're inching closer to that Final Four?
8-3, it has all been FEU. Let's check in with an Oishi Oh Wow moment of the game. Oishi Oh Wow open up to everyday surprises. That, ladies and gentlemen, was Maritoni Basas. Able to get that kill. Eastern Visayas State University, also a native of Tacloban City, Leyte. So ang ating mga manonood dyan sa Leyte, tuwan-tuwa siguro na yung kanilang kababayan umaangat na laro dito sa torneong ito.
That's right. You know, when I said that earlier, no? She plays similar to Kai Nepomuceno, and very slim, very mahinin. But Kai developed already her power. Can you imagine if Basas, she's a junior.
Yes, she
maybe in a year's
batch
time.
nila Vargas yan.
And then she developed it. Wow. Talaga, that'll be a good sign for FEU.
Fascio goes to her jump serve. Able to dig that up. They go back to Valdez. Why not? And this has got to be... They've got to maximize. As you see Kai, there you go. She's still around.
Speaking of Kai.
They've got to maximize the fact that Valdez is there in the front line.
And not only that, I feel here in this third set, no, Ateneo down 2 sets to none. Valdez has got to own this set if they want to have any chance of winning.
Look at her. Look at her. 3 straight points, and she's pumping herself up. You know how slim she is? She reminds me, I was telling you, she reminds me a lot of Charo Soriano in terms of her body, her form.
Yeah.
You know, and Charo was always a fighter. Charo always, carried her team to...
Yeah, the difference with, we were saying, Charo, she plays with a lot of heart. When you see her, you can feel it. You can feel it. That's why she won a lot of fans, because
she did.
Because
I agree.
Everybody who watches her, parang, oh, come on,
Lalo
girl.
na pag natatalo sila, and you know, she gave it her all. She's trying very much. When they used to go up against LaSalle, and the Ateneo-LaSalle rivalry in volleyball was nothing yet. Because in terms of, the competition, it wasn't there yet. They were only college rivals. Right. But Charo was always the one who tried to respond. Even if they lost. Yeah, even if they lost. They've got to have that kind of quality if they want to fight back into this game. Marge Tejada, 7 serving 9. And FEU is just overflowing with confidence right now. Noreen, even with those errors, they're just relaxed.
That's right, and you can feel that even Giselle C is playing talagang at a different level. Controlled, you're right. And she's able to control her players as well, her spikers.
Marge Tejada continues to serve here. They're down by 1. Agno has played so solidly for FEU. Ooh, that was an easy take. When I say easy, that's a lot easier than a lot of the other kills that we've seen today, Tony. I'm sorry, Noreen. That's Tony who hit the kill.
You're right, and you know, that's the woes, the defensive woes of Ateneo still haunting them.
Even in terms of receptions. Ooh, that's the Scud missile that we saw 2 years ago. Vargas loading up.
But he still has it, you know, because
we just don't see it as often as before. But you see the shorter wind up now.
And the follow
arm.
through.
Yes, unlike before where there was just such a lengthy. Oh, tsaka binibigla niya. Nice fake. They thought they were going to go to Gretchen. Nahuli yung blockers.
You know, that was what Giselle C has been doing in this match. Able to free up, you know, a blocker at least for her spiker.
For those who just tuned in, FEU is ahead 2 sets to love. Ateneo, little scramble defensively. De Jesus, block. Valdez digs it up. De Jesus again, angles it. Oh! Palma! Didn't have to do that, but her reflexes dictated that play.
Well, a lapse there in the defense of FEU, but they were all just watching that play. You can see nobody went to block. Everyone's just standing.
Kumpul-kumpul pa, no?
Ang ganda na nga ng forma ng libero, di ba?
Oo.
Picture perfect already, ready for a photo shoot.
Nice serve. Back set. Gervasio pops it up. Lazaro gives it up to Valdez. Oh, for the second time. Bounces back up right away.
Well, you know, forget that error. That's an error. You're still in the ball game 10-12. You know, Alyssa Valdez is human. She is human.
Yeah, that's why I always say, diba, parang you see her do the things that she does on the court as Phil Caignet is probably hurting that she can't do anything right now. 10-13. FEU in the lead.
Kasi kung iisipin nyo nang iisipin yung mali ninyo ngayon dyan, hindi kayo makakaahon. Paulit-ulit lang yung mali eh. Ikaw, pumapalo ka. Ingat na ingat ka doon sa palo mo. Sa sobrang ingat mo, hindi ka na halos makapalo. Paluin mo. Alam mo, i-single block, di pagdaanin mo saan mo padadaanin. Wala ka kasing kumpiyansa eh. Eh, sino magbibigay sa yung kumpiyansa dyan? Lahat nakakarga kay Alyssa ang kumpiyansa eh. Paano mangyayari? Ano gagawin natin yan? Mapaharap, mapalikod si Alyssa ang may bola.
Yala, paluin mo, ha?
Well, we don't need to translate that timeout anymore. We all know what we heard and what it meant. 10 for Ateneo as Beatan comes back in to replace Denden Lazaro. FEU just right now, its engine revving at a very high speed, playing so well today.
And you know they want to finish it
here,
right now. But you know, that's so true of Coach Roger to tell Ella, masyado kang ingat eh. You know, we've seen her, we know what she can do, and that's just like half, 50% of what she can do.
14-10 is the score, and now Coach Roger is going to go back deep down the bench and will pull Jairame Llaneta maybe in the next play. We'll see. Gretchen, no coverage that time.
Good effort though by FEU with the blocking, but that's a good sign for Gretchen.
That's what we're talking about. Ella De Jesus will move out, and Llaneta will move in for the very first time. Former University of Perpetual Health System Cavite native. 3-point lead for FEU and a 2-set lead to it. Again, the defense of Ateneo just non-existent.
And
floor defense, at least.
And also the communication.
Yeah.
You know, that it's like, don't you guys know each other? It's not them. It's not the squad that we saw that who's won so many straight games in that first round, in that first elimination round. It's a different team altogether.
And it's exactly the opposite, Noreen, for FEU. Their floor defense has been so spot on.
That's right.
What a play by Vargas.
Wow.
And it actually nets them a point.
Oh, well, that's the story so far today.
Magaling na, maswerte pa.
How's that?
Hirap matalo. 16-11 is the score for FEU. Sequence again. It's a free ball. Oh, that was the block. I want to see the one previous to that where Vargas just pushed the ball in a very comic way. A couple of plays before that led to that attack of Ateneo, which actually brings up the point here that FEU's having fun out there, Noreen. They're relaxed, they're composed, they're just having fun. It was Vargas who, it was like a free ball that dalawang kamay na parang halos.
Especially with the jump pa, no?
Yes,
With the vuelo and then whoop.
Yeah. Wow, this you have Yaneta, you have Bea Tan and Giselle Tan, her sister now, in the game for Ateneo with a 5-point deficit. FEU here, rolling, looking to win 4 straight and make a statement to teams like Adamson and UNUST. And a point will go to FEU. Ang hirap niyan, Noreen. Rookie ka, ganito yung pagkakataon na ibinigay sa'yo. Lamang ng 6-5 kalaban. Ayun yung yun. Ayun, tinan mo naman. Meron pang galaw na ganyan. Dito, wala.
I like what you said. Comic, in a comic way.
Siya,
Yeah? Kasi if you translate it, katawa. No, I'm just kidding.
Ateneo in shambles right now, Noreen. We're down 7. Look at the miscommunication here. She falls, gets tripped by Gretchen, and 7-point lead here by FEU.
Naglalaro kayo, yung isipin na natatalo kayo, na lamang yung kalaban, na nagkakamali kayo, madadagdagan yan eh. Lahat kayo, tingin nyo sa akin, diretso, lusutan. Paano tayo Kung tayo mga tako, sinasabi ko sa inyo kung ano nangyayari sa inyo. Na pagdating nyo sa loob, iwasan nyo ulit mangyari. Kaya nyo, big pass na lang, misreceive pa. Hindi mo pwede akong kindatan eh. Kung nga kaya kita pinapapasok niya para ayusin mo ng kaunti. Hindi pandan. Ay na.
Coach Roger addressing Giselle Tan there, which what I was saying earlier. You're down 2 sets, you're down 5 points, and right now 6-7 points. And then pinasok ka, rookie ka, setter pa. Grabe yung tension siguro sa kamay mo niyan, ano?
But
Ganyang pagkakataon.
that's true, but 2 things. The coach will not put you in if he does not believe in you kahit konti.
Okay.
Diba?
Kung hindi, pagtsatsagaan niya si Jem.
Oo.
Parang gano'n ang sinasabi mo.
Second thing, as a player, you know, these people who are second stringers, these are the moments that you're actually waiting for.
You live for,
You
yeah.
live for, you
I
train
get you.
for, you breathe volleyball and you want to play, here's your chance.
Sometimes
What are
you
gonna
only
do?
have a window of opportunity to show
Exactly.
what you've got. Yaneta this time, another one. Ateneo right now imploding as she will bring back Ella De Jesus, but also it's human nature. I understand your point, Noreen, but sometimes really human nature takes over and you can't help but feel pressured if you're a rookie to come in a situation like that. It takes a very different kind of person to respond
But
to
yeah,
like that. Yeah.
that's right. But as a player, if you give in to pressure,
Yeah.
talo ka na eh.
Yep.
What for? Why are you playing? You know, so you
I
have
get
to
it. I get it.
live for that moment that you can play.
I definitely get what you're saying.
Very nice to play.
Then FEU just doing everything right. Everything clicking here for FEU, who are poised to get their 4th straight win. 5 overall. And probably, dare I say, well, no, this is not probably. I will say it. If they win this is their biggest win of the tournament so far.
That's right, and it follows that win over UST.
Yes.
So, you're right.
On the rise.
They're on the rise, and they're really sending out a statement to other teams saying that before, when you looked at the standings, FEU's down there,
Yep.
diba? Bottom 3.
Yep.
Now, they're making it really interesting. I'm talking about the second round.
Nice block by De Jesus, but again, coverage for FEU has been spectacular. And everything has really fallen here for Ateneo. May Tajima, not her element to kill from that spot.
Well, again, the challenge has to be to the players. Coach Roger can only do so much. Phil Kainglet, they can only do so much. They can tell you so much. Eliza Valdez can only... It's the players, they have to challenge themselves. I'm talking about Lenete, Tajima, you know, even Tan. They have... they're the only ones who can predict or do what they're supposed to do.
This is not a one ball game yet. If you're Ateneo, you gotta dig deep into your gut, try to come back. But if you're FU, all you have to do is really focus on the task ahead. And the task ahead is to put away this Ateneo team. Look at Eliza.
Still fighting.
And trying to pump up everybody else.
Well, again, now she's in the front row. She has to own this. You know, you're down 7. You're down 2 sets. What else can you do? What more? Oh well.
Basas finding a spot. A cross-court kill. And Beatan could not get to it in time. 3 points away from win number 4 straight. That's what I'm talking about. While Ateneo, as I said earlier, last time they lost 2 in a row was in 2010, where they lost 3 in a row, actually.
Well, from the looks of it, it's probably going to be 3 in a row.
Wow. Unless FPU miraculously collapses in this game.
But it'll take something special from Ateneo for that to happen. You know, we're looking.
Because they can't do wrong. It's an FPU team. They came in. We saw them in the warm-ups. They came in confident. This FPU team. You saw it. You saw them.
We felt it.
Yeah. They were brimming with confidence. Like they knew they had a very, very good chance here today.
Well, that really goes to show you what one win can do for you. You know, for the squad, for you. And really will change everything.
It also brings to the point the coaching change that they made. Sometimes, and it is not a knock on any coach or any previous coach. Sometimes, Noreen, all a team needs is a shot in the arm.
Yep.
Diba? Whether it's a coaching change, the same material, or those things. Valdez trying, but that's out. That's out of frustration now, as FEU is on the verge of probably, so far, the biggest upset of the tournament. Because UST at LaSalle, that's an upset, but UST, very capable team.
Yeah.
Adamson and Ateneo, that is an upset in terms of team standings, but Adamson has been, you know, always a contender. FEU, in the meantime, has not played a great season, but has played great 4 games so far.
That's right. And, you know, funny, the tables have turned. How FEU is playing right now and how Ateneo is playing right now, it was reversed during that first round.
You're right.
Parang we were if we look
even
at
worse.
Even worse.
Because 3 sets lang dun.
Exactly. You know, look at Ateneo. It's just like that FEU squad that lost how many games straight. And
which looked disorganized and lost.
Yes.
And frustrated. Pasas trying to put it away. Valdez continues to pound from the other side. Pasas again. And that will do it. The upset is complete. And look at the FEU team. It's like they won a championship. I hope nobody got injured in that fight. I hope nobody got injured in that fight. Why? You can't blame them, Noreen. It's a euphoric moment for them. It's the biggest win, maybe the biggest win, Noreen, of this batch of girls. Vargas, Rojas, Basas. This is probably their own personal biggest victory in their volleyball career so far.
And you can see the way they reacted when they won. You know how hungry they are, how much happy, how much they wanted to win it, and when they did, it's like it's already a reward in itself to all of their, you know, preparation.
So the streak continues for this amazing FEU Lady Tamaraos team. It is at 4 now. UE, UST, UE, and the second placer Ateneo for Ateneo. They're still at number 2, but that's a 3-game losing skid. As we take a break and wrap this baby up. A straight sets win for the FEU Lady Tamaraos, 25-20, 25-17, 25-16 as we go to Judy Sarrell with our best player. Sino ba, Judy? Introduce mo naman kami.
Congrats, May, sa pagkapanalo natin laban sa Ateneo. Inaasahan nyo ba na magti-3 sets lang kayo ngayon?
Alam namin na kaya namin kasi nag-training naman kami. Pero alam namin na mahihirapan kami sa kanila kasi katulad nung last na, yung first round, 5th set kami. Pero ngayon, talagang pinaghandaan namin sila kaya, yun, naging 3 sets.
Anong nasasabi mo at pang-apat na panalo nyo to? Gaano ba to ka-importante para sa inyo?
Sobrang importante ito sa amin kasi, kailangan namin makarami ng panalo kasi para makapasok kami sa Final Four.
May gusto ko bang batian?
Binabati ko po yung papa ko sa Australia, yung kuya ko, yung mama ko po, tsaka yung sa tambayan po, tsaka po kay Adrian Sawan.
Congrats again, May. Boom.
Judy, congratulations to Majorie Rojas, the recruit from San Antonio de Padua College, a native of Alaminos, Laguna. She can't, probably she wants to burst into, you know, but she's trying to probably keep it in because she's on TV, but you see, you hear the joy and a spectacular job. Tama si Judy, pang-apat na sunod na panalo, 5th overall for FEU. Wow, what a game for them. Good job, incredible job for Coach Kit Santos too. Okay, Saturday, balik po tayo dito dahil napakaganda pa ng labanan dahil itong FEU gusto pang umulit. Not only do they want a 5th straight win, they want to win again against UP para makumpleto yung kanilang streak, ano? And a big game between UST and DLSU. Oh, I'm sure DLSU had their eyes on this schedule for a long time now to try to get back at their first round tormentors. There you go. That will do it for us today. Earlier, National University winning in straight sets over UP, and FEU winning in straight sets for their 4th straight win over Ateneo, which slides for the 3rd time in season 75. For Judy Sarrell, Selena Dagdag, Doreen Go, Direk Abet Ramos, and everybody in the truck, I'm Boom Gonzalez saying so long from Volleyball Central here at the arena in San Juan. We'll see you Saturday for UP FEU, UST DLSU as we continue to spike, smash, and set our way through season 75 of the UAP Women's Volleyball Tournament.